Okay, guys, so let's get right into this. Basically, you know how this works. Essentially, we are going to be answering questions for free for those who have Social Security disability questions. But please, I ask to remind everybody to like and subscribe. These videos, I do them for free. They don't really make anything, even with the ads, they don't really make anything. They're not super hyper popular in the sense of like, wow, amazing news. They're just me helping people in the community. And the bottom line is there's some rules we've got to go through. Number one, very simple. Have your legal question ready. Use a fake name throughout the process. Do not stack your questions. Like one or two questions, that's it. No more stacking beyond that. We can't give you perfect legal advice no matter what because I don't have your full file in front of me, so don't expect that. Also, very important, as we go through this process, you get about 5 to 7 minutes per phone call. It's not supposed to be more. Now, I'm going to go ahead and basically put the phone number into the chat. Actually, I just did. It's the 407-279-1754. We are starting this at 12:04 a.m. on basically Friday night, Saturday morning. And what you're going to do is you're going to dial that phone number. And then once you dial that phone number, it's going to go to this phone. This phone is then going to go into this microphone. And then you guys will be able to hear basically the conversation related to what we're going over. So we have the first caller calling in right now. Here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot with Disability Resolution PA. We are live. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead. Go ahead. Yep.
I'm on first?
You're on first. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry. My name is Jeff. I applied for SSDI in November of 2022.
Okay.
On my initial application, I'm on the third phase of medical, and it's coming on 14 months.
Okay.
I did send them an email, and they said they were still working on it. So where should I go from here? Because it's a pretty long time.
Have you seen their doctor yet or no?
No, I haven't seen their doctor.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I need a. This is important. I applied in Latin America.
Okay. Gotcha. So, okay. And just to make sure, you are a U.S. citizen or you're not?
Yes, I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
And a vet too.
Okay.
Well.
So, I mean, the main thing they have to kind of keep in mind is that the SSA is all over the place when it comes to having employees, not having employees, going through Biden, going through Trump. So there's a lot of things going on that are kind of problematic right now with the SSA. Is there anything, are you 100% PNT, 100% TDIU?
Yes, I am 100% TDIU.
All right. So do you have the DDS phone numbers, the DDS person's phone number?
No, we communicate through emails through the embassy.
Okay, gotcha. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to look up the following statute and then submit a motion on a 795. So you're going to look up on Google SSA 795 PDF. Again, SSA 795 PDF. And then once you have that, you're going to go and Google Social Security I as in igloo I-2-1-40. Again, I-2-1-40. And then from there, basically, you're going to go ahead and read through there. You're going to find subsections specifically for veterans who have findings of 100% permanent total. And then from there, you're going to go ahead and write a request to have your claim expedited so that basically you can go ahead and have a decision sooner. Keep in mind, they're going to want to send you to a CDR or have your doctor do a CDR. Sorry, not a CDR, do a CEME, consultative examination medical expert appointment. So just kind of expect that. And then, basically, I would get, honestly, the phone number for the DDS rep, and I would call them because going back and forth with email is just not a wise idea. I mean, it's fine for having things in writing, but it's going to slow down the process. Yeah.
Okay. And also, I went down to medical here in the Latin American country, and they do a physical exam, and that was submitted as well. So it goes along with the documentation I had in the States as well. So does that count as well? Because they wanted that information in Spanish.
Did you do the physical exam that was paid for on behalf of the SSA, or that you paid for but they agreed to refund you, or that they sent special documentation over to your doctor with? Like, was this for the SSA's purpose or not?
So in this country, you can get reimbursed through the VA, but the medical, they do it. There's a organization that does help vets down here.
Yeah.
And so you go through them, and then they did a full body scan. They did everything. Everything's related to my knee, so I didn't have to pay anything. So
Mhm. Yeah, but but was that all right? So I'm not hearing that was that a person specifically set up by the SSA to do.
no, sorry,
Okay,
no,
okay,
it
gotcha.
wasn't. It
Okay,
wasn't.
okay, cool. You got to get to that point. So that's a long time to wait. Jeez Louise. All right. If you can't get things rolling, even with a motion request through 795 for an I-2-1-40 for expedited assessment due to 100% P&T, then reach out to me and I'll kind of give you the next directional stuff, and that way you can keep rocking and rolling and getting it pushed forward.
Should I sign up for your consultation for the hour?
Yeah, I mean, you could do a 1 hour too. I mean, that's fine. But for that, you're gonna want to send me your case documentation. Let me figure out what's good, what's not good. Basically contact the SSA ahead of time, get a copy of your exhibit disc, send me that, and then I'll read through it, figure out what the deal is, and let you know the strengths and weaknesses of the claim. That's an option too. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate everything you do on your
Thank you.
videos, and I do watch your live streams
Excellent, good sir.
from another country.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, sounds good. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. Okay.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, good sir. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Walter, for everything you do. I've been learning a lot from you.
Sure.
I have probably going to be a stupid question, but I haven't come across this information. I applied for my Social Security disability about 10 months ago.
Okay.
And it is in determination services.
Mhm.
The question I haven't became an attorney yet.
Mhm.
My case is pretty severe, and I will be amazed if they deny my claim.
Mhm.
But I don't want to hire an attorney on the fly.
Mhm.
My question is, process these determination services, will they determine if I qualify, or will it go to a judge and I'll have a hearing for it?
Oh, no. It's way too. Yeah. So the bottom line is this. Your claim is currently at DDS. DDS basically sends your documentation out to an MC, medical consultant. They review the medical record and give an update to, the DDS rep to put into their DDE report. The DDE report then has details. They read through it. They figure, do I need to send this guy to a medical expert, the one that's going to actually see you? Once you go to the medical expert, then basically his report goes in. About 2 weeks later, the DDS rep will then send basically that whole DDE report to essentially the manager. The manager takes about a week and a half to go ahead and review it, give updates, status, what's missing, fix this, yada, yada. Then after they get that fixed, then at that point, they'll transition you to submitting it up to either quality control, which means an approval likelihood, likely approval, or submitting it basically to the local field office, which means likely denial. So if you are towards the end and you've already seen their doctor, you want to call the DDS rep and ask them, hey, is this thing likely going for, essentially a Social Security quality control review or a direct to field office review? But remember, when you don't have an attorney in the very beginning, you forfeit the ability of having the attorney point things out for your alleged onset date to go farther back in time to get more potential retroactive benefits, which is why I've always thought it was weird that people don't hire attorneys, but then at the same time, there's a lot of disability attorneys out there that purposely make the claim go longer. There's a lot of big boxes that do that because they want to make sure they get their big fee every single time. So the bottom line is you just have to be careful with who you pick. Yeah.
All right. So really, I would be ahead, in your opinion, go ahead and retain an attorney now.
So I don't push people to get attorneys. I just tell them what the deal is. You never hear me advertising to get attorneys even though I'm the most viewed and subscribed to and clicked on, blah blah blah. You never hear me like get an attorney now, And you got to remember there's a lot of like bullshit out there about basically how attorneys advertise with this stuff, and there's a lot of games that are played. So like attorneys will send you a report that says if you hire us, you are 3 times more likely to be found disabled, which is true, but that's because we also know who to pick as clients. And then other law firms will be like, if you pick us, we can tell you whether or not you'll qualify, even when you can't get a hold of the Social Security Administration, or if the Social Security Administration can't tell you if you qualify, which is another bullshit version of, basically doing this because everybody qualifies to apply for disability benefits, right? So it's just, it's playing with words to basically mind fuddle the person who needs help right away. I don't advertise because I'm overloaded as it is. So we keep restricting how many clients we're taking, what types of clients we're taking, stuff like that. But the other thing too is that I've seen so many gimmicks by these firms, and it's usually the big box ones where they will gimmick the shit out of something, and most people will fall for it. And then they'll get that firm, and then they'll get pissed at that firm, and then I take over the claim if the firm will withdraw for fees, including rep. A lot of these big box firms will never withdraw for fees. And I got out of the business of doing that because way back in the day, there was a very, very big box firm that I got a lot of clients from because they get pissed off at it. And then we kind of like, split the fee kind of gig. But I stopped doing that because you can't survive on splitting fees like you used to back in the day. It's just there's not enough money to actually do what you need to do with the claim to get the claimant found disabled. And the other problem is now rampant, absolutely rampant in this industry is this new thing where there are entire businesses that are just for lawyer referrals. So like there are law firms out there where they don't actually work on claims. They're just lawyer referral businesses. So like, they'll advertise on YouTube, they'll advertise on Facebook and Twitter and X and, TikTok and stuff like that just to get you to call. And then once you call, they'll call you or they'll interact with you and set you up with an actual law firm that does this. And then they take 25% of the fee. And so the problem again is when a law firm doesn't make that much per claim, which are Social Security disability claims, there's just not that much money to be made off of them. It's a situation where the law firm can't spend enough on the claimant to get the result that matters. So what happens is this massive amount of referral game that's being played is causing Social Security law firms to try and make the claim longer, like last longer, take more months to be found disabled so that they can get the full fee every single time. So it's not a good situation. It's getting worse. And, the reality is with the really bad economy, with the upcoming potential trade war, with groceries being expensive, business groceries, paper, pens, computers being really expensive, I do not feel that law firms are going to be able to do it in the old school method that, the way I do it, which is get them found disabled as quickly as possible, considering the shit show that the SSA is right now, but get them found disabled as quickly as possible and get the 5-star review. And then basically from there, get a referral. That method, in my opinion, is going to be exterminated by the system of what we have, which is it's too expensive to be in business, which just to be fair, Social Security disability law firms are not cash cows. They were back in 2005. They were 2009. But then if you study what happened to Bender and Bender in 2013, 2014, basically you'll see the collapse of that industry, of it being a cash cow situation. And as a result of that, what that all kind of means is that going forward, these like passion project law firms, helping the disabled, helping, the retired, helping the this, helping, those are going to die off. Not in the sense of dying off of like they're not worth anything. They're just going to get bought up by all the big box firms. And then basically it's just going to be, essentially law firms that do the mega big buck money things. And then they do these side things with the law firms where the claim will be like, oh, I was in a car accident. They're like, cool, we're going to do the PI injury claim. That's the big money. And then cool, we're going to also file you for disability benefits. That's the little money. And so that's just like the giving them the options to do all the other stuff on top of it. Now, the smart thing is usually to have multiple law firms because you've got multiple, people working on this thing, pushing each other. But that's just, the future is not that. It's just going to be big box firms, big box firms, big box firms. Yeah.
Well, let me make sure I understand you correctly, and I'll let you go.
Yeah.
If I don't retain an attorney now and it ends up going to hearing, I won't be able to have an attorney here.
No. I mean, you can get an attorney at any point before the hearing, but just remember, like, the reason you want an attorney in the beginning is because they can negotiate your alleged onset date so you can potentially get more retroactive benefits. And they can also check over your submissions as to what you're writing on paper in the 3373, which is the adult functional form about your abilities. And also, they can give you the forms to get doctors to basically fill out to give you an advantage, like RFC forms. And then also, they can train you what to say. They can go through the language in the statute and say, hey, stop saying it this way, say it that way. Hey, go get a prescription for this medical device because you need it for this statute. It's not like the thing is with disability attorneys, they're not that expensive. I know people are like, oh, I had to pay my attorney $6,000. I'd pay my attorney $4,000. I'd pay my attorney $7,000, $8,000. It's now up to $9,200 for the maximum of what we can get paid for, administrative claims up to and including the hearing, because the problem they had was that disability attorneys were leaving the field in droves. They were going to LTD claims, workers' comp claims, VA claims, etc., because the disability attorneys couldn't make enough per claim to pay their staff. So, yeah.
Well, I think it'd probably be in my best interest to go ahead and try and retain one. Just by listening to some of your previous videos. Walter, I thank you for everything you do.
Yeah, absolutely, good sir. Take your time, research it, pick the right one, and call a bunch of them. That's what I always tell people. Call like 4 or 5 of them, talk with them, figure out the deal, figure out if you have a connection. It's just like dating. When you pick on an attorney, you got to have that click, So,
right.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. So you have a wonderful night.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, good sir. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we're going to take the next caller. We're going to wait a little bit. Also, there was a donation from a Mr. Reed, $10 donation, which is absolutely amazing. I super appreciate it. That's awesome. Everybody, if you could, please remember to hit that like button. It's super important. I'm going to click the button now. Here we go. Speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal did they hang up? They hung up. Let's get the next one. Speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hello. I spoke to you on Tuesday after your show ended, and I have another question. I wanted to know, you told me that I'm going to be in this hybrid area because I'm on SSI, and I'll be 67.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to know, I may get a trust fund, and I was wondering what I should do about that. Do I need to get a special trust fund or just a regular trust fund? I'm not sure there'll be any money left, but in case.
No, I mean, you always get, there are disability trust funds, there's like the ABLE account system. So, all right. So I guess, all right. And part of the problem is, in order to go through this, to figure out like what kind of trust fund would be best for you, it's not a 5 to 7 minute conversation. It's about what funds you have, who's going to ultimately pass away, what you're going to inherit, all that stuff. So, so walk me through. We're not going to have enough time to figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Basically, I'll just give you, as I was SSDI in 97. I got kicked off in 2013 because I took a temporary job, and then they reinstated me, and I haven't had any reviews or anything. But when they they sent me to the doctor in 2013 or whatever year it was, he I'm permanently and totally disabled now, and I'm 66 and 10 months. And I want to know, my parents, it's from my parents, and they're very old. And they've set up a trust fund, but there's no money in it. And so I just want to know if I guess you can't really, I don't know how much it's even going to be.
Yeah, like I need all the details on how much, when, what's distributed, when was it set up, what provisions does it have? I need a copy of it. I got to read through it, and I got to tell you, this is what you got to watch out for. This is what's going to change. Who are the trustees? How is it released to you? Is it going to be above SGA? Is it going to be over the $2,000 resource limit per month? all that stuff. So, I mean, the trust should have put the money into an able account to be set up when you were younger, but parents don't know about that stuff. So it's just one of those
Okay.
gigs, Yeah.
Yeah. So if I should do that contract with you, do I fax that form in and then pay it the 2 or 3 days beforehand
Oh,
and
yeah.
send you all the information?
So the way it works is basically, just to make it simple with that thing, you go ahead and fill out the mini contract, you make the payment, then I give you a call, we put you on the hearing docket calendar, my calendar, and then basically usually it's like a week and a half to 2.5 weeks out. Some people I'm scheduling at 12 noon during my lunch period. Some people I'm scheduling basically at 3 p.m. during the day. So kind of the bottom line with this whole situation is if I have an opening for 3 p.m., because most of the 12 noons are already taken for the next 2 weeks. But if I have an opening, then basically, we slide you into the 3 p.m. slot option. But the kicker is basically you fill out the contract, do the payment, and then we get you rocking and rolling.
Okay. All right. Then so there's different type. I'll just put there are different types of trust funds then, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
what you're?
I mean, I wouldn't think of it as like different types of trust funds. I would think of it as more like the provisions in the trust that are set up specifically for an impaired person and how they interact with the safe to put money away programs, able account, that the SSA is offering and whether or not you can opt into them based off of age and yada yada, a bunch of other stuff.
Okay, because I did get a hold of Social Security yesterday morning,
Mhm.
and they told me that I wouldn't be in that hybrid area because she said no, it's not going to matter because you're retired.
How old
So
are you?
I kind of got. I'm 66 in 10 months.
Yeah,
She
you're
says, you're
over
already basically retired.
you're
so.
over 65. So look, are you getting full retirement benefits or are you getting a hybrid allowance with SSI and some of the retired, benefits as well? Like what do you now that you've spoken with
I'm
them, what are you
only
getting? Yeah.
Yeah, I only made about I think $42,000 when I was able to work, and I got on Social Security in '97 as SSDI. I was switched over to SSI because she was looking at my chart when I was talking to her. Gave them all the information, and she said it first, and then she says, I said, "Are you sure?" And she says, "Let me double check and look it up."
Real quick.
She says, after you're retired, you don't have to worry about income. She says you'd have to, you'd be Medicaid would be the big issue, which I knew about. So I still don't mind hiring you. I just want to do what's correct.
Wait a minute. I'm not sure that's correct. So, one moment. You said that you're getting 100% Title II retirement benefits and not any Title 16 SSI benefits.
Oh, which one? I'm at SSI. I hardly worked. I was disabled after 10 years.
So you didn't have your 40 quarters of coverage?
No.
Okay, so then you're on old age SSI where there still are some restrictions. But it's going to, I don't want to spend too much time because keep in mind, I get yelled at when I go over 7 minutes or at 6:15. But bottom line is this: you need to go learn about what's considered to be old age SSI benefits. Most people retire now at 67 for full retirement age. SSI people transition from SSI disability to SSI retirement at 65. The thing that doesn't make sense is that you said you were originally on SSDI disability and then transitioned to SSI. So what happened there?
They kicked me off. I was on mental strictly, and I was partially.
But you got a job, right?
Considered.
And you got kicked off?
No, this is before. Before all of that. I started in '97, and I'd worked like 10 years or so, and that's where I made that money. And then I did a temporary job in 2013, and it got me kicked off because I made too much per hour, even though it was a temporary job. And so when they did that, they made me. Pardon?
For how long?
How long have I been? They kicked me off for 2 years. And then I did the ticket to work.
Okay.
And so
wait. You
so
were
that
off for 5 years, but then you were doing so wait, did you do the ticket to work with the beginning of doing that job, or did you do the ticket to work? You had to have because you had benefits. So you did 5 years of ticket to work. What happened?
no, I did. And it was 2013, I think, when they kicked me off. The guy that kicked me off gave me some great advice. He says, "Get on ticket to work; it'll cover your rent." And so I did, and I had like a year and a half left, or a year. I guess that he said you have to be kicked off for 2 years, and before they'll reinstate you. When I was ready to, they sent me to a doctor, 6 months ahead of time or whatever, to go through another review, because up until that time, when I got kicked off, I was SSDI. Then when they redid it, they gave me SSI and totally disabled me permanently.
Man, you're saying so
that's
many
where
wrong
I'm at.
things. You're saying so many wrong things. There's so many wrong things with what you're saying. It's hard to even.
Okay.
You're supposed to go on ticket to work program while you're on original benefits as a 5-year transitional program that allows you to work your way off of benefits. EXRs are
No, they didn't.
available. Yeah, no, I know. I got
They
that.
didn't do that.
I know. Yeah, I got
Nope.
it. So
Yeah, they didn't do it that way. They still accepted me into the ticket to work program,
right.
even though I'd already lost that job, because, as my dad put it, Jesus, you've had 100 jobs.
So real quick,
Sorry, I'm trying to be.
Yeah, I gotcha. So you did 5 years with a job, correct?
No, in the beginning, back between 95 and or 90. See, I graduated in 76. So between 1976 and 1986, I made about 40,000. Then I applied for Social Security, and then I got it in 97 of January for the mental.
SSDI.
And then,
got it.
Yeah. And then I thought I checked before I did the temporary job, because they said I could do it. They didn't tell me I couldn't make over a certain amount. I got kicked off.
Okay.
And so then when the guy, he called me and said, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to kick you off because this is what happened. And I said, well, what can I do? And then he said, get on ticket to work. And he said, then you'll have another review. It'll be a medical. And then that's what I did. And then they accepted me.
Onto what? Accepted you onto what?
SSI.
Okay.
I switched.
So how long were you? Yeah, I got it. How long were you on ticket to work program?
Oh, maybe a year.
So then why didn't you request an EXR back to your original SSDI?
I didn't know. I didn't get an attorney for that second part. Nobody told me.
All right. So a lot of wrong stuff that ended you up on a program that ruined your ability to get higher benefits and then potentially transition. Well, I mean, the bottom line is you didn't have 40 quarters of coverage anyways. You only had SSDI, correct?
Right. In the beginning, yeah. And then I decided to take the temporary job because I was told that, oh, you can get a temporary job. So then I called Social Security 3 times, and 3 different people said, yeah, you can do a temporary job. So then I didn't get an attorney. I didn't worry about it. And then they sent me a letter. They said, you have to turn in your stubs, which I did. And so then I got a phone call. I got a letter first, and then they that's what they did is he kicked me off with warning. He was very nice, and then he says, when you do your medical report, then we'll see, and then we'll reevaluate you. And then I got accepted. I got a letter within a month that I'd been admitted back on, but not SSDI, just straight SSI.
Was your SSDI amount higher than the SSI amount?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right. So it's not a huge loss then. You just stuck on a program with a lot of restrictions as opposed to SSDI benefits, which you paid into, but that's not the end of the world. I mean, it's just there were definitely some things done that were wrong there. And you should not rely on the local field office for direction. on what to do with that
Okay.
stuff. But bottom line is, you should have originally been on SSDI. If you wanted to try and do a job, then basically you could have tried to do it through the Ticket to Work program, and then stayed on that for as long as you could. And then when that didn't work out, you can talk to them and they should have reinstated your SSDI benefits. Or if something happened that was weird, they could have EXR'd you back to SSDI benefits. But instead, they swapped you over to SSI benefits, which was a program that has a lot of restrictions on it, but was probably, because you didn't work that much, similar in the amount that you were supposed to receive. Now you've switched over from SSI to SSI retirement at 65 plus. So you didn't lose a lot. You know what I mean? If this were somebody who was getting $2,000 in SSDI benefits per month, that would have been a colossal F up of a life choice. But you don't have lots of earnings, so it's not that big of a deal. So it's not. Yeah.
I think it was just like 40 or 42,000. I haven't added it up. I did write it out though, and so I'm going to add it up. But so that will limit me on a trust then. I know that there's one kind of a trust where you can only get it with you can't use it for your rent and things like that. That's what your regular Social Security. But if you need special things that aren't covered, then that was the one trust. But then if I put it into that trust, then nobody gets the money afterwards.
There are a lot of restrictions with SSI old age, and we're at, just keep in mind, 14 minutes. I got to swap to the next person, but there's a lot of stuff you need to know. A lot of stuff you need to know about the program you're on and how you're going to receive funds and how they need to be distributed and how they're going to count against your SSI benefits. So there's a lot of stuff you got to work on.
Okay. I will do the contract thing. Probably won't be able to do it for a month. Oh, by the way, I am paying an overpayment of $50 a month. So
what's the total amount of the
overpayment? Huh?
What's the total amount of the overpayment?
I just looked at it. $9,000 for the SSI and $1,200 for the SSDI. They took it. They just added it all together, but now I actually see in there that there's a separate. It's all under one payment of $50 a month. He says you better go to them first before they come for you looking for a payment.
Why?
So I did.
All right. When you do the hour, send me the sheets on the overpayment too. Pre-print out a SSA 632 PDF, and then we'll kind of go through the details, because if you were genuinely in a Ticket to Work program and it didn't work out, sometimes there's punishments or whatever, but that's a big punishment. And right now they're changing a lot of the rules for SSI. So, they're not even really going after people who are on SSI that have $5,000 or less. Obviously yours is above that, about double that. But the bottom line is, like, get that stuff ready too. Let me hop to the next caller, but you have a wonderful night, Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that contract in about a month.
Perfect.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. You have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Real quick, there was a person who called in and then the phone didn't connect for some reason. I think it is this person. I'm going to try and call them real quick to see if I can get them on the phone. And if I can, awesome. If I can, it is what it is. But let me see if I can get this person on the phone real quick, because I think they got screwed out of actually having a proper phone call before. Howdy, good sir. Attorney Walter Hnot, Disability Resolution PA. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, I will be 62 in 5 weeks from now. I filled out a claim for SSDI back in October, and I haven't, just started, so I haven't gotten any word back. And I was told that I could start my regular retirement at 62 while I was being reviewed for SSDI.
You can.
And I tried to sign up for my regular retirement a month ago, and of course I couldn't online. And I called my law firm, and the paralegal or woman there said that they will automatically do it once I turn 62.
So are you on SSI or SSDI benefits?
I'm on nothing right now.
Okay.
I made a claim to a lawyer back in October of last year.
Okay.
So it's still early in the claim.
So the bottom line is, but you've worked throughout most of your life, correct?
Up until 5 years ago, yes.
Up until 5 years ago. Okay, so what is your DLI, your date last insured?
Insured?
Yeah, your date last insured, your DLI.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, so you got to call the SSA and ask them what your DLI or date last insured is. And the reason why is that that date will dictate essentially, where you can set your AOD or alleged onset date, and whether or not you're going to be eligible for SSDI benefits. Potentially, hopefully you will, but you got to call them and figure that out because that's important. The other thing that's kind of crucial with this thing is that, the attorney that you hired is okay. So most attorneys will not represent people, continue to represent them if basically they file for retirement benefits, because for each month that you're receiving retirement benefits, the attorney can't collect back pay for the claim that they're working on the disability claim with. So the bottom line is, you can go through this process, but the moment the attorney finds out that you've taken retirement benefits, they're going to try and withdraw, and then that's it. You know what I mean? They're not going to withdraw for fees for the things that they did, but they're just going to withdraw from representation because there's no way for them to get paid going forward. Now you're on the side of it saying, I need the money right now. So you're going to go ahead and file. But just, keep in mind, when you file for that, the SSDI benefits that you're trying to get onto, each one of those back pay months gets sucked into retirement benefits because they're all part of the Title II program. So, just be aware of what happens with that.
Okay. That's what my question was, is I said that from the beginning when I hired them to be filed back in October, they said, well, yeah, that's fine. We'll just start you on your regular retirement when you turn 62. And like I said, it's 5 months from now, 5 weeks from now. So,
they're not going to want to represent you though, because they can't get paid for that time unless they're seeking. They might be able to get full 17 months back for essentially retroactive benefits plus a couple of months, of back pay from when you filed, and then you subtract 5 of that for SSDI calculation purposes. But bottom line is, most law firms don't do that because there's not enough money there. Well, look, were you a high earner? Like, did you pay in
Yes.
Okay, that's why
Yes.
they're doing it, because high earners, they basically, their back pay / retroactive benefits add up quickly. So in that case, law firms will make an exception, but otherwise they don't take those claims. Yeah.
So their fees should be paid already from 4 to 5 months I've been in it. So
There you go. That's their $9,200 is paid. Then they're going to do it. Yeah.
Okay. But it still doesn't help me in 5 weeks from now. And my question really is, if I go for my regular retirement, and if I can't file until after I am, how much will that delay my first retirement check?
Well,
if I didn't sign up for disability and just did my retirement, I'd be getting a check come May. Mm-hmm. And now that I have, how much is this going to delay? And will it start from the time I wanted to do it right when I turn 62? Would I get back pay just on the retirement end, not the disability end?
Well, for retirement, there's no back pay for retirement. For retirement, you basically let them know. You can let them know up to 3 months beforehand that you want to go ahead and at 62 opt in. But pretty much the month in which you notify them, the next month you're going to get the check.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because I knew the 3 month deal, and I tried 2 months ago, and it wouldn't let me go through. It wouldn't let me do it because I had a claim open.
Yeah. Well, no. Wait. You had a claim open for what?
I have a
for SSDI
claim.
No, you can file for a retirement at any point once you've reached 3 months prior to 62. The SSDI doesn't stop it.
Wouldn't go through on the website. It wouldn't let me do it.
That's not the website then made an error. You are allowed to file for retirement benefits and receive them while seeking SSDI benefits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll be calling my lawyer come Monday.
Yeah, give him a call, give him a nudge. Look, at your age, you can usually file for expedited preferential treatment. It doesn't necessarily fall directly under, classic I-4-2-20 or I-2-1-40. But bottom line is, they've got their money paid at this point. So nudge them and say, hey guys, file me for expedited status, go through my medical record, pull out where I should receive a grid out, send in a tiny motion to the SSA, get this thing plugged so you get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Perfect.
I appreciate you and your show.
Thank you, good sir. Thank you. Perfect. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. So we are at 39 minutes. We usually shoot for 30 minutes. I know there's additional callers, but here's the thing. I am super duper tired. I have to wake up early tomorrow. I will catch you all a little bit later. I hope you're doing super duper well. Please remember to like and subscribe. Hit the like button. Also, if I helped you out, please consider going to Disability Resolution on Google. Go to Google Disability Resolution Florida and go ahead and throw some stars up there if you want. They always get me super psyched. I'll catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. Please remember to be kind to each other. And bottom line is we will catch up probably tomorrow later in the day. I hope all is well, and we'll go from there. Attorney Walter Hnot, thank you so much. And we'll catch up soon. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.